Computer hardware basic concepts, beginner level. Introduction. Computer hardware refers to the physical components of a computer that you can see and touch. These components work together to perform tasks such as processing data, storing information, displaying output, receiving user input. Examples of computer hardware include CPU, processor, RAM, memory, hard disk SSD, keyboard and mouse, monitor, motherboard. Computer hardware is important because it forms the foundation of any computing system. It works together with software to perform operations. This topic helps beginners understand how computers actually work internally, the role of each hardware component, how data flows inside a system, basic system architecture. Computer hardware is the collection of all physical parts of a computer system. In simple words, computer hardware equals the physical devices that make a computer work. A beginner view includes input devices, keyboard, mouse, processing unit, CPU, memory, RAM, storage, hard disk, SSD, output devices, monitor, printer. Why computer hardware is important. A computer cannot function without hardware. Hardware is responsible for executing instructions, storing data, displaying results, interacting with users, running software applications. Without hardware, software cannot run, data cannot be processed, no input-output operations can happen. Basic components of computer hardware component. Purpose. CPU, processes instructions. RAM, temporary memory for running programs. Storage, permanent data storage. Motherboard, connects all components. Input devices, provide data to computer. Devices display results. Example of hardware representation. Computer equals CPU, Intel i7, RAM, 16 gigabytes, storage, 512 gigabytes SSD. Input, keyboard, mouse, output, monitor. This represents a basic computer system. Example of simple processing concept. Input data equals 10. Process data equals input data times 2. Print, output, process data. This mimics how hardware processes data. Simple hardware logic example. Python. Power equals true. If power, print, computer is on. Else, print, computer is off. How computer hardware works. Step 1. Input. User gives input using devices like keyboard or mouse. User input equals hello. Step 2. Processing. CPU processes the input. Processed equals user input dot upper. Step 3. Storage. Data can be stored in memory or disk. Storage equals processed. Step 4. Output. Result is shown on output devices. Print, storage. CPU, central processing unit. The CPU is the brain of the computer. It performs calculations, logical operations, instruction execution. Example. A equals 5, B equals 3. Print A plus B. CPU performs this calculation. RAM, memory. RAM stores data temporarily while the computer is running. Features. Fast access volatile. Data lost when power is off. Example, in. Temp data equals 1, 2, 3. Stored in RAM during execution. Storage devices. Storage keeps data permanently. Types. HDD. Hard disk drive. SSD. Solid state drive. Example. File data equals saved data. Stored permanently. Input devices. Input devices allow users to interact with the computer. Examples. Keyboard, mouse, scanner, output devices. Output devices show results. Examples. Monitor, printer, speakers, motherboard. The motherboard connects all hardware components. It allows communication between CPU, RAM storage, input-output devices, full menu-based hardware simulation, Python, def input device, data equals input, enter data, def, process data, data, return data dot upper, def, store data, data, print, data stored, data, def output device, data, print output data, while true, print, N1, input data, print, 2. Process data. Print. 3. Store data. Print. 4. Display output. Print. 5. Exit. Choice equals input choice. If choice equals 1, data equals input device. L if choice equals 2, data equals process data data. L if choice equals 3, store data data. L if choice equals 4, output device data. L if choice equals 5, break. Else print invalid choice. Concepts learned from computer hardware. CUC. Basic computer structure. Input means process means output cycle. CUC. Role of CPU and memory. CUC. Difference between RAM and storage. CUC. Hardware interaction with software. Real-life analogy. Computer hardware is like a human body. CPU means brain. RAM means short-term memory. Storage means long-term memory. Input devices means senses. Output devices means actions. Ways to improve hardware knowledge. Open and explore a real computer. Learn about assembling PCs. Study different CPUs and GPUs. Practice installing RAM SSD. Learn hardware troubleshooting. Build a custom PC. Embedded systems. Arduino, Raspberry Pi. Common mistakes beginners make. Next, thinking hardware and software are the same. Ignoring compatibility between components. Next, underestimating RAM importance. Next, confusing storage with memory. Next, not understanding CPU role. Where computer hardware is used. Computer hardware is used in personal computers, laptops, servers, smartphones, embedded systems, gaming systems, cloud data centers, IoT devices. Simple definition. Computer hardware. The physical components of a computer system that perform processing, storage, input, and output operations. Final summary. Computer hardware is the foundation of all computing systems. It enables data processing, storage, user interaction, execution of programs. Understanding hardware helps you build better software, troubleshoot systems, optimize performance, understand how computers really work.